Hey yo, shout out John Dilly, Klein, Save, and the whole Red Hook. Moment of silence for a Red Hook legend. You heard? Brooklyn legacy. Hey yo, Fruquan Pops, been doing this before all of us. You heard? Ben had his book out. Go on Amazon, put in Fallen Angel, put in Fruquan name, cause they share that name, and you gonna see that book pop up. You heard? So yeah, it's levels to this, bro. Know what I mean? Dude's been doing it even before we was doing it, and that's a fact. Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man, get at me. Yo, if you ain't check out them 2 episodes yet of that new series I'm doing with the bro Eborn, aka Correctional Officer Ebron, that worked the Bing and C-74 for 22 years. You know his story game is through the roof. You heard? But we got 2 episodes out, bro. More to come. You heard? Y'all stay tuned in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the playlist. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. We moving.
Like, I'm not taking no history from the Decepticons or anything like that. They formed, they got their history, and they got everything, you know what I mean, and what they did and everything like that. But I want to be on record and saying that these dudes wasn't doing none of that stuff until we came up there. First of all, they wasn't even calling themselves the Decepticons or none of that. That formula of running around Manhattan, wilding and all that type of stuff, rushing stores and all that, that came from me and my clique. When we came up there, Park West and Printing was schools. They was, at that time, they was considered like good schools, especially Park West. Printing, had a little rough around the edges and everything, but Park West was considered like a real honor type, school and everything. Both of them was, even though Printing had a little bit of rough around the edges and everything, but we turned those 2 little schools, and within that 3-block radius, into a little war zone. Half them dudes we didn't even really know them dudes. We just knew them dudes was from Brooklyn, you know what I mean? And they just like how we used to be running around, robbing shit, running up in stores, and all that kind of stuff and everything, you know what I mean? And in the midst of them running around with us.
Not to interrupt you, but the crew that you talking about is dudes from Crown Heights that's from around your way?
They was from from around my way, yeah.
And for the viewers and the listeners, where you from in Crown Heights again?
I'm from Nostrand and Park Place.
So that's where most of the dudes was from, Nostrand and Park, that was going up there to Park West and all that?
Nah, sprinkle out. Nostrand and St. Mark's, Nostrand and Prospect, Nostrand and Park Place, Nostrand and St. John's, that little immediate area around my way and shit. Because remember, we gotta have a separate conversation about that, man, for real.
So you said you was telling me before, like, how it all started was y'all caught one dude slipping, and he got robbed so easily. You was like, nah, it's on.
I'm the one that committed the first robbery up there with a motherfucker. And my man Waggy came behind. Like, we gotta have a separate conversation about that. For real.
But what happened? You said you saw.
We talk about that all the time.
You said you saw somebody with. You said you saw somebody with. It was somebody with some jewels on, or with some good garments on.
Nah, with some Jew, man. We was fly dudes, man. We ain't robbing. That's why when I was on the island, when I used to see all these so-called live dudes like taking sneakers and robbing dudes for garments and all, I always looked at that shit as bum shit. I can understand, how you doing. I understand, you know, you on the island and you doing your little wild adolescent stuff, you know what I mean? And you robbing niggas for jewels and all that shit. Okay, that's some money type stuff, you know what I mean? But robbing dudes for garments? And I always looked at that shit as some bum shit, you know what I mean? That's bum shit. For real. I don't want nobody sneakers. I don't wear nobody else shit. For real.
So you said somebody was up at graphics at printing with a brolic Herc on?
Nah, that's why I told you gotta have a different conversation about that, because, you know, I like to talk about things in chronological order. We initially went up there because my homie Just, Black Just, my homie Nut, and my homie Jesse, they went to Park West. And they told me and my homie Wag and my other homie Waz that, like, yo, it's this dude up here. I forgot his name, because they told his name, this is a while ago. Yo, this nigga be heavy. Like, yo, this nigga be heavy and shit. And every time we went up there, we couldn't never catch the dude. You know what I mean? Because we went up there initially to rob him. Like, we seen him a few times, but it was positions where we couldn't get at him. It's either like when we got up there to go rob him, he left school already. You know what I mean? He left school already, or we didn't see him. So, like a week of going up there in the midst of trying to rob this dude, and we seen him one time, and we couldn't get at him because police was around. You know what I mean? Homie was driving and everything. You know, we seen him with this man. He was with this other kid. He used to always be with this other kid. Both of them was heavy, you know? We like, oh, okay, cool. But we couldn't never catch up to these dudes. So after a week of coming up to Park West, trying to get at this dude, trying to rob him and everything, you know what I mean? I give homie credit. He didn't know he was getting lined up to be robbed and everything, but he was moving smooth, because we couldn't never really, like, you know, catch him. And us being frustrated at this one particular day, and like, this was what started us and the whole crew coming up there and turning those 3 little blocks into a war zone, is that me and my man, and we across the street, we waiting for the school to let out, thinking we gonna see him. Boom, when our homies came outside, was like, yo, that nigga left already, you know what I mean? So I'm mad. I'm like, damn, man. The fuck? I'm like, man, fuck me, concentrating on this nigga, man. I said, but I'm getting some money today. Fuck this, you know what I mean? As I'm talking, I see this dude across the street walking. I see the little banging ass nugget bracelet.
You talking about the dude y'all was looking for, or another dude?
No, another dude. This is somebody, another dude. I seen him with a banging ass bracelet and a lion head ring and shit, you know what I mean, on his finger and his wrist. So I said, man, fuck that. Somebody getting robbed today, man. Fuck that nigga. You know what I mean? Walked up the money and everything, because we used to come up there with little grips and everything. You know what I mean? I walked up the dude, just robbed the nigga straight up like that. Now, as I'm robbing him,
with the ratchet or without the ratchet?
With the ratchet, I just walked up to him. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, take that. That's when we realized, like, oh shit, these motherfuckers in this school is pussy. You know what I mean? And like, that's how we started realizing, like, oh shit, because we never even concentrated on that before. We were just concentrating on trying to get with homie and rob him. We never was concentrating on nothing else until this day I did that. When I did that and robbed him, how I just walked up to money and just told him, like, yo, man, take that shit the fuck off. I just slapped him like, yo, take that shit the fuck off. He took his bracelet off, he took his ring off and everything. And as he's standing there taking his ring off and bracelet off, giving it to me and shit, like, yo, man, I don't want no problem, shit type of shit like that. My man Wag came across the street, because I was spinning off to break out. And the nigga just came over there, started patting his pockets, going in his pockets and shit. When he went in his pockets, took his little money and everything, and he zipped down his jacket. You know, when he zipped down his jacket, opened his jacket, boom, that's when he had the, homie had a fucking nice cable on with an anchor. I was like, and when I seen that, I was like, oh shit, like that's what made me realize. I said, damn, I ain't even check his neck. You know what I mean? I was just doing some more fast stuff and everything. But meanwhile, we robbed Duke and everything, and that's when we had started realizing, like, hold up, oh shit. We started noticing, like, all these sucker ass kids up here and shit be walking around heavy. And that's what started the notion of us always coming up the motherfucking Park West, because we didn't go down to Printing yet. We didn't go down there yet. We were just always coming up to fucking Park West. You know? So we just it was like taking candy. It was like taking candy from a candy store, man. We were just literally just walking up to motherfuckers and just like, you take that shit off. And I'm talking about these motherfuckers was having brolic drug dealer type shit on. You know how the jury was and doing those days. And these just like little sucker ass honor type kids and shit like that. You know what I mean? And that's when it got to a point because we all went to Prospect Heights. And we used to meet up in a little deli on Franklin and Union before we go to school. That used to be the game room that we used to hang out in front of. That was like the game room everybody from the high school hang out in front of and everything. Before we go to class, we go in and we smoke weed at games in there. That's where we used to get our breakfast at. But that's where we used to always link up before we go. We used to call it Gin, you know what I mean? Back in the days, boosting. We used to call it Gin. Like, yo, you go to your phone? Oh, okay. Hello?
Yo.
Yeah, we used to call it gin, aka, going to boost and everything. But during this time, it wasn't really like we was boosting anymore. You know what I mean? We was really basically rushing stores. And I got to give credit to my homie. He was the one out of all of us, you know what I mean, that really he the one that made that suggestion for the mother. My boy Mega, Sean Hill. He the one that made that suggestion, man. You know what I mean? Like, yo, there used to be a Herman store right there on Nassau and Broadway. Before ATMs was out, we used to use that shit like an ATM machine. We literally kind of put that store out of business. We used to go in there and rate that shit so much.
What you mean? What you mean? Armed robberies or just stealing?
Nah, just stealing. Just go in there and just take racks of clothes and just walk the fuck out. That's what back in the day. That's when Pacific Trails, Jerry G's, you know what I mean? Because Herman's was a sporting goods store. They even had their own clothes. They had their own little Herman shit, fly sporting goods clothes and stuff. You know what I mean?
I remember Herman's.
Yeah, right there when you come out of the train station on Nassau and Broadway and everything. We shut that down. We was the cause of them going out of business. That particular location, you know. We was the cause, and if everybody remember,
how much them Jerry G's was back in the days though.
Yo, them Jerry's was expensive back in the day. Like, I be looking at people now when I be seeing them with, like, Jerry G's on this. Like, Jerry fell off because I don't even see all of, like, the little colorful designs from, like, back in the day. I just always see, like, little solid, regular colored Jerry G's. Back in the day, Jerry used to have some fly, different color designs. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. Ralph Lauren basically... I don't care what nobody say. Ralph Lauren really bit off Jerry G, Herman's, and Pacific Trail. Because Pacific Trails, Herman's, and Jerry G, they was the first ones. Those ski jackets, they was the first ski jackets that had all the different designs and all that and everything. Don't get me wrong, when Ralph Lauren came out with his ski jackets and everything, he kind of took it to like another little level. But those three brands right there, they been was doing that. They been had the different color ski jackets with the fly, different color tones and everything. You know what I mean? Because those was the jackets that was popular back in those days.
Yeah, I'm about to start a new channel with my bro Saquon. The bro, I mean, you said Shy, bro Saquon, and we gonna do this shit called Good Garments. And on the first episode, we gonna talk a brief history about Jerry G's. But my bro Big Dice got a story, a legendary Crown Heights, Brooklyn story about a kid who got killed I think from Boys and Girls High School. I'm not sure, but I think from Boys and Girls High School, that got killed over Jerry G back in the days.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Jerry G's. I'm telling you, Jerry. Let me tell you, when it come to garments, dog, I was out there. I know about it.
Yeah, I know y'all Crown Heights dudes. Y'all Crown Heights dudes was a little bit more advanced in the garment department than other little sections of Brooklyn for a period of time.
Yeah, man, of course, man. And like for instance, when I be hearing certain people, I'm like, I'm gonna give you like it don't got nothing to do, but it got something to do with like garments. But I'm gonna give you a certain little talk. Like, I remember I heard Dame Dash in an interview. I forgot what, I think he was with Shannon Sharp on his channel. You know, I follow Dame Dash. I like Dame Dash. I respect Dame Dash. It's been his mind in the whole 9 yards and everything. But he made a statement when Shannon Sharp asked him, like, you know, what made you like fuck with Jay-Z or whatever and everything. And he said Jay-Z had a pair Uptowns on Air Force Ones on. And he was like, you know, during that time, you know, Brooklyn niggas ain't wear that. I was like, so my mom said to myself, like, when I hear certain shit like that, when you hear people say that, like, Brooklyn niggas didn't wear this, or, you know, only certain areas of it, I'll be like, that shit is cat. Maybe regular people, but people that boost and was taken into clothes and all that, I'd be like, man, shit is cat, man. Brooklyn niggas, we was wearing that when it first was coming out. Like, I don't know, what are you talking about? Like, you know how people be trying to marginalize or like have things just catered or just centered around, just certain people from certain locations only rock certain things. That's not true when it comes to a booster.
You remember that little Benetton store that was right next to Printing? Right on the same block of Printing, but down by the train station, they used to have a little small Benetton store right there on 50th Street.
No, I don't remember. I'll be lying.
Leave a comment if you remember. I always wanted to know, was motherfuckers trying that little location? Because it was a small ass little Benetton store. And I always wanted to know, like, I wonder if niggas be going in there trying to boost in that little shit.
But let me tell you something. I can't remember the particular block that it was on, but right there, coming from the arch, from on West 4th, it used to be a Benetton store right there on the corner. We put that shit out of business. But it survived, though. It survived, man. We done took so much stuff out of there, but like I was telling you before.
What y'all was steaming it? Y'all was just running there and snatching shit?
When you running there, I'm telling you, let me tell you, we stopped boosting basically the basic practical way of boosting. We stopped doing that in like 83, dog. 82, 83. We were still pretty much young. Going to Secaucus, going to Cherry Hills, you know, all these different places in Jersey and everything, all through Manhattan and everything, with Corey's and all that. We stopped the particular basic method of boosting. We started just rushing stores. Just going there and just take a whole stack of this, a whole stack of that. Sometimes we had motherfucking garbage bags. Like, yo, we just clean them the hell the fuck out. Word. Like I be telling my boy, and the car would be right here and everything. Like when we be driving around, you know, working in Manhattan, especially in like West 4th and all that and everything, I would be telling like, man, we done rape everything around here. And it's crazy how they still have the same type of method, how the stores are set up to this very day, how it was back then. Always these little boutiques, and there's a lot of boutiques of expensive clothes that we used to rob that people we never even heard of the name. Like we would go in there and be like, oh, they got some nice stuff in there. Let's go in there, let's rush them. We would go in there, we rushing, taking garments that we never even heard of these labels and everything. But a t-shirt in that motherfucker is $125. And I'm talking about in 84, 82, 83 and shit. You know what I mean? I remember when we robbed the Charles Jordan store. When we robbed that store, that was the first time I ever heard of Charles Jordan. We took motherfucking $700 pants. We killed them. And sweaters. All those sweaters, a lot of people don't know. I learned that throughout the years. You see all those sweaters that Bill Cosby used to wear?
Yeah, he was wearing straight Coogies. That nigga was wearing straight Coogies when they was
not all of them was Coogies. Some of them shit was Charles Jordan. I read an article based on that. Some of them shits was Charles Jordan. Because Charles Jordan, before Coogie was even out, Charles Jordan, that designer, had that look, that Coogie look.
Talk about it, baby. Talk about Crown Heights niggas. Crown Heights niggas will give you the history on them garments.
Man, we went up to printing, like I said, we went up to print. We was up in printing like 84, 85.
How many of y'all used to go up there? Like, how deep y'all used to be?
Man, we used to be deep, man. We used to be like 50 deep, man. 60 deep. I'm talking about from the initial time when I set that off, it used to just be 3 of us. Because like I said, we wasn't concentrating on that. We were just totally concentrating on catching Duke out there. But we couldn't never catch him. And I got frustrated. Like I said, that day, who was there? It was me, my man Wise, my man Waggy, and my man Mega, Sean Hill. Us 4 was up there. And like I told you, my man Sean Hill, he was really the one that made the suggestion that, yo, fuck that, yo. Fuck this boosting shit. Like, yo, we start just rushing stores. He was the one that led us into rushing stores. And the first store that we rushed, this is a name brand that nobody to this day, I don't care how long you was boosted, a lot of dudes didn't even know about this. And I had to look this up like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, to see if this brand still exists. And the crazy thing about it, it still exists a little bit, called Aka Joe. ACA. Word. And this was around the time Tommy Hilfiger came out. Because we rushed both of those stores. At the same time. Tommy Hill store and the Aka Joe store. They was right next to each other.
Where that was at? Manhattan?
Yeah, Manhattan. In Manhattan.
Am I bugging out, or was it a Tommy Hilfiger store in Kings Plaza back in the days? I know it was an Aeropostale store. I know they had an Aeropostale store in Kings Plaza. Way before Aeropostale turned into a regular brand, that shit was a dumb exclusive brand. But I'm trying to remember if they had a Hilfiger store.
I ain't familiar with that.
No, they had a Hilfiger. I remember they had a Nautica store in South Street Seaport.
Oh yeah, we robbed all that. The Nautica store, they just finally got rid of the Abercrombie and Fitch store. That was another store that we used to use as an ATM before ATM was out. And right around the corner from that, it used to be, and I ain't gonna lie to niggas. Yo, real talk. This is another thing, man. I don't know about other areas and everything, but we kind of made that Disney shit kind of popular, man. You know what I mean? Because it used to be a Disney store like that sells like Disney. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of that Disney shit used to be fly. They used to have the fly silk jackets and everything. Yo, it used to be a Disney clothes store right around the corner from Abercrombie and Fitch. Cause we used to wreck, yo man, we were just ridiculous with it, man. Like one set of us would wreck one store, and the next set of us to be around the corner wrecking another store, and we would basically switch.
And what years you said this was right here?
Man, all this was like 83, 84, 85, 86.
Oh, I gotta ask you a question, my brother, because there's a big debate on the channel. what is the first, think about this though, what is the first year you ever saw a Polo goose?
Oh, that's an easy debate, man. I told you, man. Before Ralph Lauren came out with Polo's gooses, you know what I mean? The gooses, the go-to gooses was Jerry G, Herman's, and Pacific Trails. Those was the go-to, you know what I mean, gooses. Ralph Lauren came out, well, when I first saw a Ralph Lauren jacket, you know, a goose, and this is before he came out with the super duper colors with the ski man and all that, USA and everything coming down the line and all that. Ralph Lauren only had plain ski jackets. That's why I always felt that he jacked the different colors and everything from Jerry G, because Jerry G was like the first ones that was known for the different colors and all that. Jerry G's was popular. You know what I mean? Jerry G ski jackets back in the days was like $300, man, straight up. And you know, that was a lot of money back in the days for a ski jacket. But I seen a Ralph Lauren ski jacket, a plain one. I'm talking about a plain one with no different colors and all that in it, a plain one. The first one I ever seen was like 83, though, so far as I can remember. Like now, 83.
Now you just sealed the deal on some shit, because my man Big Dice did a story where he said he got robbed for a Polo jacket in like 83 or 84, and people went crazy saying Polo gooses didn't exist in those days. But you're right, they were plain. They wasn't crazy like a Jerry G was trying to be with 5 different multicolors and all of that.
Exactly. That's facts. That's facts.
Big Dice, holla at me, bro, because they tried to come for your head, and they tried to say that it wasn't no Polo gooses till 86.
That's false. That's false, because I was stealing that shit. Let me tell you something. And this is for low lives and everybody. You know what I mean? We was the cause of Bloomingdale's taking the Ralph Lauren section from the first floor and putting it on the 3rd floor. You would think it was Roll-On, like those is my dudes, you know what I mean? Those is my dudes. I was affiliated with a lot of the original ones. All these other dudes, I don't know them, you know what I mean? Like I don't know them and everything. It's been years and all that kind of stuff and everything, you know? Well, a lot of the original ones and everything, I'm talking about Crown Heights. Like, you know, I know a lot of them and everything. Some fly dudes, cool dudes, and the whole 9 yards, you know what I mean? And they put in a lot of work. And, like, I do be listening to a lot of their interviews and stuff like that. And, yes, they was hated. Why? Because they was fly niggas. Like, I forgot I forgot the interview and everything, but I forgot, like, who said it. I think Rudy Lowe said this shit, you know what I mean? But yo, and I was like, that's crazy, because I done seen them a lot of different times, and I know the effect that he was talking about. The effect they used to have when they used to pull up 30 deep and everybody rocking crazy low shit and everything. That shit used to have bitches going crazy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. For real. If a chick was standing there, or you was standing there and you was talking to a bad chick or whatever and everything, you know, whatever dude was present and had the fucking attention of the females and everything, when them dudes pull up and they rocking all that low and everything, different colors and all that, they like 20, 30 deep. Yo, dog, they used to just shut the attention span down to everybody, dog. I know that for a fact, you know what I mean? For real. I know that for a fact. For real, they used to shut it down, man. For real, when they used to come through, I don't care how fly you was, you could have had something on that was more expensive than Ralph Lauren Polo, but the way them dudes used to come through, you know what I mean? 20, 30, 40 deep, everybody got on low shit and everything, everybody rocking the fly crazy low shit. That image used to look crazy back in the day, for real. And that was one of the elements of why them dudes was hated. Because all the chicks used to love them. For real. Just because the way these niggas used to dress, dog. For real.
That's a fact. A lot of niggas was hating on low lives because they was getting all of the bitches and they was just looking crazy. They was looking super fly and couldn't nobody else outfit combinations really compete with the combination of a nigga low from head to toe.
Exactly. It couldn't. And,
So,
and to this day, I be telling to this day, I ain't gonna lie though, I'm gonna put this on record, because I just got finished saying it. Dog, I wear low to this day, but let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say to me, low fell off. I be going to the store trying to find, like I'm trying to look for that flavor that I used to have.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what it is, bro. And
low
this is,
fell off,
I'm gonna tell you what it is, bro. And it's not that they fell off. It's that the same thing niggas did with Jordans, where you can't get a pair of Jordans without standing in line and shit like that. That's what they still make all that exclusive low with the cookies. They make all of that shit. But when it drops, that shit is sold out in minutes. And resold for thousands of dollars. They still drop all of that, bro. All of that shit we grew up off of, they still drop all of that. But these thirst ball niggas from all over the world. If you go on the Polo site, you click on stories. And in stories, they're gonna show all of the real low. The shit they put out for retail is the shit we could get our hands on. But for the collectors, the shit they put out for the collectors of low, gotta go on their site and click stories. It's gonna hurt your heart and soul, bro, because they're gonna show you shit that you're gonna want, and everything is sold out. They cannot make enough of them because they sell out as soon as they come on the market. So if you're not a Polo low life ass nigga that got connects and shit like that, you ain't getting none of that shit. It's a dirty game out here, bro. It's a dirty game out here. Trust me.
Like G. George, what it was, last summer, we was on the phone and everything, you know what I mean? Now, I just got to say this. I always knew it was another G. George, but I always heard his name, but we never, like me, after we and him chopped it up, we was in the same space with each other and everything, different times, but I never knew that was him. I always knew the Spanish G. George, you know what I mean? So anyway, my homie, my man Big Tim, he introduced me, you know, that G. George is his man. But anyway, make a long story short, we was on the phone. I ain't gonna lie, he got me. We was on a video chat. And yo, he was a little upset and everything. We was having a little conversation and everything. He like, yo, because it was based on him. Man, I'm the real G. George and everything. You know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And he showed me all the Polo stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is like, he got all like the original Polo. He was just taking shit out of his closet and everything. Like, yo, look at this. Yo, he don't even know. He had me crazy hype, man. I'm talking about all the stuff that you be like, you go crazy for. Like when I go in a low store and everything now, I be like, I might buy a pair of shorts or I might buy a shirt or something. And I be like, man, load fell off, man. Damn, man. Word, man, load fell off to me, man.
A lot of shit done fell off, man. Now, I mean, gas ain't what it used to be to me. Tommy Hilfiger, that shit went to, I don't know. Tommy Hilfiger ain't what it used to be. Motherfucking Nautica ain't what it used to be. I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Niggas need niggas like us. They need niggas like us to be on the motherfucking creative team. Like, yo, listen, y'all niggas want to sell right now. Listen, Guess is crazy. But I understand they might want to do shit by books. But you remember when that Guess sweater came out, that 34th anniversary, and we called it the Bo Jackson Guess sweater. It was black and gray with a big 34 on the front of it.
Yes.
Bro, if they start putting out their vintage shit like that again, in stores, in Bloomingdale's, in Macy's, boom, throwback, boom, acid wash, regular guest jean. If they start putting out their old shit, acid wash guest suits, know what I mean? I had the gold one, I had the red one. Them shits is crazy, nigga. They put out them acid wash guest suits from 90 again. Them shit's gonna go, bro.
Yo, I was just saying that because you know what's ironic? This weekend I was taking my daughter to school shopping. You know, I was mad because she's going to high school and she don't wear uniforms. I was mad. She happy, but I was mad. You know what I mean? Y'all like, oh God, she gonna be in my pockets now. So me and her mother, we took her to even I was spending the money though. But we took her to Deer Park, the outlet, right? And me and her I was just having a conversation with about that. We went in the Lowe's store, we went in the Tommy Hilfiger store, we went in the Guess store just to see what they got. The Guess store and the Nautica store and the Lacoste store. And I'm looking at all this. I'm like, yo, I just said that a few days ago. I was like, yo, I was telling my daughter, I was like, yo, remember when Guess? I'm like, yo, Guess shit look mad cheap now. I said, yo, Guess fell way off, man. I said, yo, Guess designed some of the most iconic stuff, man, when they came out. Like, if they was to come out right now, like you said, right now, and I always said that, if they was to come out with the acid wash jean suits with the leather on it, they revolutionized that.
I forgot about the shits with the little leather patch on it. Them shits was fucking crazy.
They came out with the jean suits with the leather on it.
Them shits was fucking crazy with the leather patch on them. Them shits was stupid. Even if they come out with the old Guess jumpers, bro. Niggas is gonna wear. Young people are gonna wear those.
That jumper, because Oshkosh had the jumper out, Lee had their jumper out, different brands had their little jumper out. But when Guess dropped they jumper,
they shit was gangster. They had the short ones.
They wash with the pinstripe in the front of the jeans and all that. Yeah. That shit is iconic.
Yeah, they had the long shit and the shorts. That shit's crazy.
When they came out with a little short, I was on my way to jail.
Yeah,
but
bro. And them shorts too. Them little acid wash regular Guess shorts with the little triangle on the pocket. Them shits is vintage classic forever.
Hell yeah. I was like, yo, what the hell they thinking? Like, you go in the Guess store, I ain't gonna lie to you, all that shit look cheap. All that shit look like some Chinese knockoff.
All right, this is what happened. I'm gonna explain that. This is what happens with companies. What happens is companies come to a lot of these brands used to be exclusive, like Aeropostale. I remember when a shirt in Aeropostale was like $80, $100. You understand what I'm saying? In King's Plaza, like that shit was for rich people, right? But what companies do is they decide, all right, listen, either we could stay an exclusive brand that's mad expensive, or we could turn into an American family brand and everybody can afford our stuff. So certain companies like Guess that used to be, more higher end, they never was too high end, but they just was the shit at one time. Them, along with a lot like Aeropostale and a lot of other companies, they started turning themselves into a family brand. You feel me? So it's like now you could go in there and get a $20 shirt. You could go in there and get a shirt on sale for $15. And when you do that, it waters down your brand, and you see too many clowns with that particular brand, you be like, yo, I'm good.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm good. I ain't wearing that shit. Too many clowns is running around wearing that shit now. You feel what I'm saying?
And that's another thing I want to put on record. One thing, and not to sound like an old head or anything like that, but one thing that I liked about our era, we ain't always looking alike and dressing alike. Like to this day, you know what I mean? I'll be 52 to this day. I hate to see somebody with something that I got, especially when they ain't rocking it right. I hate that.
Hell yeah. I don't want to see a nigga with the same kicks. If I see a nigga that live anywhere in my vicinity with a certain pair of kicks, I'm getting them shits in a different color.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, we'll get the same style or something, but we want to try to find a color that nobody got.
And sometimes if I see a certain nigga with a shirt, I might not even get that sneaker. I'll be like, I'm good. Son did that first.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't even want that.
Straight up.
I don't even want that.
Yeah, nowadays everybody wear the same shit. Niggas got the same. Everybody look, yo, bro. This is disgusting to me, my nigga. I be seeing packs of teenagers, and literally it's 6 or 7 teenagers walking down the block. Every single one of them got a pair of Jordans on. Like, my nigga, y'all niggas don't got y'all own style. Like, all y'all niggas is the same nigga. Like, it's all type of fly motherfucking footwear out there.
Exactly. The iconics. The patrons. Let me tell you something. Let me just break some little clothes history down for you. Because I liked it, because I was there. I always felt that if I would stay boosting and that whole type of vibe and getting clothes, stealing clothes and all that, because people be sleeping. We used to make hella money. If I didn't graduate to fucking with guns and selling little drugs, my thing was stick-ups. That was my shit. You know what I mean? I wasn't, selling drugs wasn't really my thing. But if I wouldn't have graduated into fucking with guns heavily, you know what I mean? We always had guns when we was young motherfuckers. You know what I mean? However, our money source was coming from, that whole Midtown back in the day shit. Our source of getting money back in those days, and I'm talking about 82, 83, 84, 85, when nigga was, a real teenager, was breaking jewelry store windows, snatching diamonds, and boosting. You know what I mean? Or straight robbery, you know what I mean? And shit like that. I can talk about all that shit. That shit is all past then, However,